Hey everyone, so this look is very much inspired by Christmas, in case you couldn't tell. So for those of you who celebrate Christmas and like a little bit of a dramatic side, here you go. I'm primarily using BH Cosmetics. My eyeshadow primer I had applied previously to filming, and we're mainly going to be working with the BH Cosmetics 120 Pro palette, second edition. So the first color that we're using is the goldish color, and I just basically used the Smudge brush by BH Cosmetics and patted the color on and then softly blended out any of the harsh lines. This is probably the easier step of the look. Next, we took the red. For some reason in the picture it has a slightly pinkish tone, and even in the pictures of the final pictures of the look itself it has a pinkish tone. But the color itself isn't really that pink, so I don't know. If you wanted to make it more of a red color, you could also mix it with the color that's just beneath it, that has more of a orangey kind of hue to it. But using the same smudger brush, or smudge brush from BH Cosmetics, I used the same technique. I just patted it on so I could get the most color payoff that I wanted. And as I patted it on, I made sure to not go any higher than my crease. And the reason being is because, you know, it's a cut crease look. For the green, I used that color there, and I used, yes, I used an eyebrow brush. But the main reason I used the eyebrow brush was because it was stiff, it was thin, and because of the stiffness and how thin it was, it gave me the precise application that I wanted so that I could, you know, do the cut crease thing. Now, take your time with this part, because you do, you know, if you really want to go for that clean cut crease look, the more time you take on it and the more precise you try to be in your color placement, the better off the look will be in the end. So I mean, I really, as you can see, took my time and really paid attention to which direction my brush was facing and how the angle of the brush was. Another reason why I use this brush too is not only because of how stiff it was, but also because the brush it has a slant to it at the end. So I could use that pointed slant part to my advantage when it really came into the inner corner there. And also too, when I did it, I just kind of traced out from where my crease was, or where my other colors had stopped. Now if you happen to mix the red and the green together, don't worry about it, because that's actually why I put on this black. One, to help deepen the cut part of the crease, but also too, whenever you blend red and green together, they're complementary colors, so when you blend them together it just becomes like a muddy color anyways. So if you happen to go over the red a bit with the green and you notice that it looks black and smudged and ugly, don't worry about it. That's what that black was for, and the black I just basically traced along where I had placed the green as well. For this part here, I didn't use any extra product on my brush. I just used whatever was left on it, and I started to smudge out the black that I had placed on. You can use a different brush if you like, such as the MAC 217 brush. I wouldn't use the MAC 217 or 219, the pencil brush, whichever one the pencil brush is. I wouldn't use that for actually drawing out the line, but for smudging it out and for blending it out, it could definitely be a good substitute. Now I went back to using the green again with the same eyeshadow or eyebrow brush, and I went over the black again, and this was just to make sure that I could still keep the color green but also still have that deeper, darker color, so that, you know, by the time I ended up blending it out, it had a dark to light green gradient effect. And I mean, like I said, take your time with this. Take your time, you know, if you're really going for the defined cut crease look, because it did take me a while to really get it down with this, and it's not something that you can rush, or at least it's not something I can rush. Some of you may just have a natural talent for it or something, I don't know. Again, going back with the green, this time I used a BH Cosmetics smudge brush. You'll notice the handle color is different because it's from the other deluxe 10-piece brush set that they have. They have two different brush sets. One has red handles, one has green handles, or gray, a grain, wood grain colored handle. They're both the same set. The brushes are the same. They're just different colored handles is really all that the difference is. But once again, take the smudger brush and the green eyeshadow that we first started using, and that's where you're going to start blending the green upwards. And as you'll see that you can still see the black line. Now we're going to take the black with the green both at the same time on the brush, and we're going to blend out that dark line. We're going to soften it up so it doesn't look so harsh, and you'll start to see the gradient effect really start to come out. Now the closer I got to that cut, where that cut part was in my crease, that's where I would use the angle brush. And again, I would still grab both the green and the black, but the closer I was to the cut, I would use this brush. As I started to move outwards towards my brow bone, I would use the smudger brush and both the green and the black eyeshadow. Again, take your time. I can't stress that enough. For a highlight, I used this color here from the 88 Tropical Matte palette by BH Cosmetics, and I used the smudger brush, the same smudge brush from BH Cosmetics. I just made sure to wipe it clean on a towel that I have, or you can use a paper towel. Just make sure you really wipe it clean. My suggestion as far as working with the green and the red, you probably can use the same smudger brush. However, I wouldn't recommend it only because the red color can really stay in the brush. So if you really want the two colors to be differently defined, then you'll want to try to use two different smudge brushes if you can. Now we're working with the lower lash line, and I started with that first gold color that we used and just applied it on the inner half of my lower lash line. I used a MAC 231 brush, and then I did the same thing with the green, starting at the outer corner, connected from where the color on the upper lash line had stopped, and connected it through, blended it with the gold, and then again I took both the green and the black colors mixed together and applied it towards the outer third of my eye and blended it in. Kind of creates a fuller lash effect on your lower lash lines. Now you can grab your favorite black eyeliner and apply and line your upper lash line. I used Makeup Forever's Aqua Liner. It's their black color. The number is 0L. I guess 0 for the color and then L for liner. But I just lined my upper lash line, and sharpen your pencils, because it really helps to have a really sharp pencil, or a pencil with a point, when you're trying to work in that inner corner of your eye. And if you want to, you can go ahead and smudge it out. I wanted to smudge it out just to soften the line a bit. I didn't want too harsh of a line going across my upper lash line. And I used my MAC 231 brush. And you can line your inner waterline, your lower waterline, and your upper waterline. This is actually optional. If you have sensitive eyes, I recommend not doing this, only because it can irritate your eyes. And I kept blinking like that because anytime I line my upper waterline, it always tickles my eye. Now for some added flair, this is what really made me like the look, because at first I was very iffy about it. But I applied MAC Reflex Gold glitter, Reflex glitter on my eye, but I only applied it on the area that was gold and red. I didn't go anywhere above where the cut crease began. And then I just finished up the rest of my makeup with concealer and foundation from BH Cosmetics 26 Neutral Eyeshadow and Blush Palette. I used, it was a brown toned blush, and I used that for the contouring. And then I used the eyeshadow, this Golden Peachy eyeshadow, as my blush. I really liked the glow that it created on my cheek. It just gave me a really healthy glow. Apply your eyeshadow or your mascara if you haven't done so already, and you can go ahead and fill in your brows if you need to. For the lips, I used MAC Dervish lip liner, Barely Lit lipstick by MAC, and Hard Candy Fat Pout lip gloss by Hard Candy. Hard Candy, their glosses are amazing if you haven't tried them out yet. But yeah, this is the look. Like I said, it was primarily using BH Cosmetics, but I hope you guys like it. So Merry Christmas for those of you who celebrate Christmas, and I hope you all have a very good holiday. For those of you who don't celebrate Christmas, I still hope you have a good holiday, or, you know, just a good day off. And yeah, Merry Christmas to you and yours, and Happy New Year. Bye.